There we go. We are good. We're a little late. We're a little late, chat. Trying to do this whole afternoon stream thing, trying to stick to it. But we are fashionably late today. So, well, we're not that late. We're about 30 minutes. 30 minutes past. Not bad. Not bad. Let's see. Go ahead, get comments pulled up. See who's gonna get first in chat today. Brian, what's up, Brian? First in chat today. How you doing, dude? Olivia, welcome. Welcome, Olivia. APC, what's up? Welcome. Kate, what's up? I know, like I said, I know I'm a little late today, but we're trying to stick the best we can to these afternoon streams. So, at least my time. Mike, what's up, dude? Welcome. All right, chat. We notified the Discord. Let's go ahead, real quick. Go ahead and drop that Discord link. Go ahead and get that out of the way. Mm, Discord link going up for anybody who wants to join us over there. All right, all right. So today, guys, today we're going to be talking about negative, intrusive thoughts, cutting out the middleman. Now we've discussed this in the past. We've discussed this in the past, but I feel like this is a really important one because I get the feeling that there's still a lot of people out there, maybe not a lot, but at least a handful of people out there, right, that are still trying their best to argue with their mind, right? No matter how many times they hear it here on the channel, I get the feeling that there's still a handful of people out there that are trying their best to argue with their minds, and they're not getting anywhere, and they never will, right? So I feel like this is very, very important to discuss. I feel like it's something that we can't just sweep under the rug. This is something that we really need to get through to people, right? So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about cutting out the middleman. Now, we've talked about, in the past, we've talked about more of a neutral standpoint to acceptance, right? And we've talked about more of an aggressive standpoint to acceptance. I'll explain exactly what I'm talking about here in a bit. Cutting out the middleman and what we're going to be talking about today, I guess you could say, right, is somewhere along the lines of a slightly more aggressive approach. It's all the same thing at the end of the day, but I guess you could say we're going to be talking about a slightly more aggressive approach to acceptance today. We will get into that in just a second. Let's see who else we got in chat. 5:30 p.m. here, wet and windy evening. It's pretty chilly today. It's not rainy, but it's pretty chilly today. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream, Ghost. What's up, Edward? Clips. What's up, dude? Welcome, welcome. We're gonna give it a minute. Let chat fill up a little bit, and then we're gonna get started. Wonder Bro. What's up, Sanchez? Welcome, dude. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing? Hopefully we get to speak later. Hopefully that works out. Um, all right, let's see. Also, guys, before we even get started, go ahead and leave that like. Go ahead and leave that like before I forget. Before I forget, let's go ahead and leave that like. We're growing like crazy here recently. Let's get an exact number on that, and then we'll go ahead and get started on today's stream. What is that exact subscriber number? We are at 10,245. So pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. And it's all thanks to you guys. Couldn't do it without you guys. Love the autumn weather. Yeah, I don't mind it being chilly. I really don't. It doesn't bother me. I know a lot of people kind of complain about that, the fact that it's getting a bit colder, but it doesn't bother me. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Sanchez says, "Cool Adidas jacket, Wonder Bro." Thanks, dude. Hey, it was actually a viewer who got me this Adidas jacket. They got it off the Amazon wish list, and I just got it like what, 3 or 4 days ago. So pretty cool, pretty cool. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get this stream started. So today we are going to be talking about negative, intrusive thoughts, cutting out the middleman. Now, like I said, this is so crucial. I don't know how else to say that. This is so crucial. If you don't understand this or if you don't get this, there's a chance that you're going to spend a lot of your time, right? A lot of your time convinced that you are using acceptance when actually You are in your head trying to fight with every negative thought. So I'm going to put it in a more aggressive, straightforward way today when we say cutting out the middleman. Now, these negative intrusive thoughts, and don't get me wrong, I also know that you're dealing with, physical symptoms of anxiety, right? Physical symptoms of anxiety. These negative intrusive thoughts, however, most people, most people who are convinced that they are using acceptance still have this habit of trying to disprove, dispute, argue with, prove wrong, fear every negative intrusive thought, which just sets up this vicious cycle of your brain never getting the clear message. Your brain never getting the clear indication that there is nothing wrong. Because these thoughts come, you resort to the fighting, you resort to the mental blah blah, that's what we called it yesterday. The cycle continues. So when we say cutting out the middleman, here's a good way to look at it. Let's say, for example, you know I love examples. Let's say, for example, I get the negative intrusive thought that a bad thing is going to happen in the future. Let's say my mind tells me, right, in the future, this bad thing is going to happen. This thing that you're hoping for is going to go wrong, right? Now, out of reaction, most people want to jump into that and try to disprove that because we don't want that bad thing to happen, right? We don't want that bad thing to happen. We don't like the idea of that bad thing happening. So, out of like a knee-jerk reaction, most people jump into their minds and try to disprove it. Right? That seems like the natural thing to want to do. I don't want said bad thing to happen, so I'm going to jump up in with my thinking mind and try to fight this out, try to argue this out with my mind, right? Which normally just leads to what? Normally leads to hours and hours of obsession. What does all this obsession do to the nerves? It fries them, right? So a lot of people, when they hear stop fighting with your thoughts and feelings and live your life, which is the two main keys, a lot of people, when they hear that, they understand that, but they're still in the habit of jumping up into this contest, this boxing match, if you will, with their mind over every negative intrusive thought that they have. Why do they do that? Because they don't agree with these thoughts. Why do they do that? Because they don't want these thoughts to ever happen. Why do they do that? Because they fear these thoughts. Why do they do that? Because they don't want, again, they don't want these thoughts to ever happen, right? So, seems like the natural thing to do. However, like I just said, we know that this leads to the rabbit hole of obsession. So, what do we mean? This brings us to our point of today's stream, guys. What do we mean by cutting out the middleman? When I say cutting out the middleman, what does that sound like? What does that look like? If my mind tells me that this bad thing is going to happen or could happen, I need to respond to that very short, sweet, and simple with an attitude of acceptance and say something like, good, so be it, whatever, hope it does. Right? You're cutting out the middleman. You're no longer giving your mind a chance to debate with you. Here's the problem with getting into the debate. It leads to the hours of obsession. The mind doesn't lose. All right? So that's an important little thing to remember. The mind doesn't lose. You get into a contest with your own negative intrusive thoughts, you're not going to win. The mind doesn't lose. It's always got something to say. There's always a loophole, right? So we see it happen all the time. Said person gets into this argument, to this boxing, this mental boxing contest between their conscious mind, right, their thinking mind, and all of that subconscious stuff, all those thoughts that come. They get into this boxing contest. And what happens? They get very, very stressed out. Sometimes, very rarely, they will say, okay, I think I've got it figured out. But then what happens? Sooner rather than later, another loophole. Sooner rather than later, another loophole, another loophole, another loophole, another thought, another thought. You do not win this contest. You do not win this boxing match. What happens is you eventually step out of the ring, beat the hell up, but you surely didn't win it, right? So when it comes to these thoughts, there has to be acceptance of them. And we have to cut out the middleman. So to accept a negative intrusive thought means to just basically agree with it. Not because you actually believe it's going to happen, not because you're a negative person, but because you know there's no point in getting into this boxing contest, but because you know that you're not going to win this match, right? That's why you're basically just agreeing with the thoughts instead of getting into the mental boxing match, because you know there's no point. So The common thing about that is that I get, quite often is people say, "Well, I don't want to go that route. I don't want to go the acceptance route if that means that I basically just have to agree with these thoughts because then I feel like I'm saying that I do believe them." And I'm telling you, we're not telling you to agree with these thoughts because you believe them. We're not telling you to agree with these thoughts because you believe they're going to happen. We're telling you to agree with these thoughts so that you can cut out the middleman, heal your nerves, and stop giving them fuel, right? Cut out the middleman being your worry. This is why you're miserable. You spend so much time trying to disprove these thoughts, argue with these thoughts, and fight with your own mind. Do you know how stressful that is? Do you know how that fuels the fire? Do you know how that just keeps you in this battle, locked in this battle? Right? And you wonder why your nerves aren't catching a break. How can they catch a break? We know that worry activates the stress response. So when you're locked in a mental battle with your negative intrusive thoughts all day long, if we know that worry activates the stress response, how could your nerves catch a break? Right? How can they catch a break when worry activates the stress response? So when people look at me and they say, I don't want to agree with these thoughts because I don't believe them. I don't want them to happen. I'm scared of them. And I say, well, there's no other way because you can try to box with them all day long. You're going to get nowhere. Worry activates the stress response. So the more you do that, the more stressed out you become. I'm not telling you to agree with them because you believe them or because you're going against your morals, whatever, right? I'm not telling you to do it because of that. I'm telling you to do it because logic does not fly here. Your brain's not listening to your logic anyway. It's pointless. You're wasting your time, right? So as you get into this boxing match with your brain, not only is it not listening to your logic, it doesn't care about your logic. We've talked about this in the past, but also it's keeping you stressed. So, what does it look like? What do we need to do then? If we need to stop worrying so that we can give our nerves a break while we just live our lives, how do we do that? How do we do that? We cut out the middleman so that if the negative intrusive thoughts want to say, "Hey, maybe it's about a life situation," those apply too. Maybe your negative intrusive thoughts they catch you off guard and they say, "Hey, your husband doesn't love you, your wife doesn't love you." I've heard that one before, right? To that we say, "Okay, fine. I don't care." Good, right? So people don't want to do that though because they think that means they're agreeing with it. They think that means, agreeing with it on a deep level, as in actually believing it. We're not getting into all that. We're just saying we need you to respond with the opposite of fuel. We need you to respond with the opposite of fuel. So when you say it is what it is, good, I don't mind. Right? It's not that we're getting into what you do or do not believe. Forget all that. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the fact that we need you to get to a point where you stop fueling this thing. And in order to get to that point, you got to cut out the middleman, right? So whether or not it feels comfortable to just kind of nonchalantly agree with these thoughts instead of fighting with them, whether or not that feels comfortable at first is irrelevant. We've got to get you to a point that you stop fueling this thing. And sometimes that is going to require, most of the time, that is going to require you just going straight towards the thing that your mind is saying, "Hey, you need to worry about this." And you saying, "No, I don't because I don't care. No, I don't because good. I hope it does happen," right? Nonchalantly, blow it off. Just say, "Okay, good." Right? Agree with it. Instead of getting into this pissing contest, which you're not going to win. Number one, you're not going to win. You know that. Loophole after loophole. The mind is an excellent chess player. You know that you can't beat it. Number two, it's just because your nerves are tired anyway that you're getting all these thoughts the way that you're getting the physical reaction, right? And number three, the more you fight with it, the more stressed you become. I could go on and on and on with so many reasons as to why we don't want you fighting with your thoughts, right? You fuel the fire, you stress yourself out, your nerves are just tired anyway, right? It's pointless because you're not going to win that boxing match anyway, right? We could go on and on and on. But the thing is, people still have this desire to want to prove these thoughts wrong because they fear them so much that they want to prove them wrong. And out of wanting to prove them wrong, they keep themselves in the most stressful cycle imaginable. We have to cut out the middleman. If you want to get to a point where your brain starts working for you rather than against you, well, then you've got to use acceptance. You've got to calm your nerves. You've got to retrain your brain. So if you want to get to the point where these thoughts leave you alone, you're just going to have to start going with them and saying, "Okay, it is what it is. I don't mind. I hope it does happen," right? So That's more of the aggressive approach. If you wanted to look at it in a more neutral way, when these thoughts come, you could just say, okay, it is what it is, whatever. I prefer the more aggressive approach because a lot of times when people just kind of respond to these thoughts with, okay, it is what it is, they tend to just slowly fall back into the obsession. They tend to just go right back to the bad habits. I prefer to just take it by the horns and say, good, I hope it does happen, right? Just go straight to the heart of the fear and say, you know what? I'm cutting out the middleman. If it happens, it happens. Is that going to make you feel jolly? Probably not. Is it going to make you feel on top of the world? Probably not. But what it is going to do is it's going to get you out of this cycle. And although you don't see immediate 100% right away, you will in time because you're slowly breaking the cycle. You're slowly teaching the brain that these thoughts are not real dangers by the way you respond to them, right? You are giving yourself a break from this boxing contest where you're getting your ass beat. To put it to you quite frankly, you're getting your ass beat. So if you want to continue getting your ass beat, continue trying to box with this thing. But if you're ready to heal, if you're ready to show your brain that these thoughts don't deserve the false alarm, if you're ready to have your brain to start working for you rather than against you, if you're ready to retrain your brain, it's time to step out of the boxing match. It's time to step out of the arena. And when these thoughts come, simply agree. Simply say, okay, right? You're going straight to the heart of the fear. You're going straight to the heart of the worry. And you're saying, I'm cutting out the middleman. I'm not doing the worry because if it happens, it happens, right? That's going to make you feel a little uneasy at first. But what's your alternative? Your alternative is staying locked in this mental battle that you've been in for so long and you're not getting anywhere. If you were, you wouldn't be here, right? So I know it seems a bit crazy. I know it seems a bit out there, right? When I tell you, hey, guys, when these negative, irrational, anxious thoughts come, instead of getting into this competition with them, simply say okay, right? Simply say good, agree with them. That seems a bit crazy on the surface, but you get what we're getting at. You understand why this breaks you out of the cycle. You understand that being in this contest, this boxing match with your mind, is pointless anyway. Nobody's listening. It's not listening to your reason, right? Once that alarm is activated, it's activated. And now you just need to prove to the brain that it doesn't need to be activated. You can't prove it by talking to it, or else you could just sit around and say, hey, turn that off, turn that anxiety off, and the brain would listen. But it doesn't work that way, does it? So you're wasting your time. Not only are you stressing yourself out, keeping yourself in the cycle, but you're wasting your time anyway. So the only way to get there is to cut out that middleman. And that means when these thoughts come, even though it seems a bit crazy, right, you have to say, good, I want it. Good, sure thing. Good, it might happen, right? Now you're cutting out the worry. Now you're cutting out the middleman, right? And this is going to bring you so much further than you ever thought possible, right? But we've got to get you to a point where you say, I've had enough of the way that I'm living, and it's time to get my brain to start working for me. It's time to retrain my brain. It's time to reprogram my brain, right? We've got to get you to that point where you can dedicate to this. It's not always fun. I'll be honest with you. I'm always honest with you guys. It's not always fun to agree with these thoughts. It's not always fun to just say yes to these thoughts. It's not always fun. But you know what's even worse? Staying in this cycle. You know what's even worse? Spending your entire day trying to prove these thoughts wrong. Man, it is stressful and it takes a lot of energy to try to do that, right? So why not cut out the middleman and just go right to the heart of the fear and say, okay, if it happens, it happens, right? Why not cut out the middleman and just go straight into it and just say, you know what? Instead of getting into a competition, I'm just going to say if it happens, it happens, right? So we've got to cut out the middleman, right? When we talk about live your life, stop fighting with your thoughts and feelings, a lot of people hear the stop fighting with your thoughts and feelings, and they're not quite sure what that means. So I hope that cleared that up for you today. We've got to cut out the middleman. So, chat, with that being said, that was the point of today's stream. Thank you so much for watching. Whew. What a mouthful. What a mouthful. All right, guys. Let's see who we got in chat. Who we got in chat today? Ivan, it's like a dog chasing its tail. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Um, let's see, what else we got? Logic doesn't work. You're absolutely correct. Logic does not work. The more you try to stay into this boxing match with your mind, the more you're going to fail. I promise you that. The thing is, sensitization slips back in your mind so gradually you don't even realize you're sensitized after experiencing a period of being healed. Sensitization does not just slip back in. It's got to be the result of your own bad habits. So we can't point fingers, right? We have to take responsibility for the fact that you don't just randomly, fall back into bad habits. That's something that you make the choice to do. We got to keep you on board, keep you on track. Stop fighting with your own mind. Is there any way to listen to YouTube without being on the app? I don't think so. I don't think so. Let's see. I don't have premium. I just open in a small window so you can keep doing other things. Gotcha. What's up, Kay? What's up, Kay? Welcome. All right. I think I'm caught up on comments. I don't think I missed any comments. I think we're good. Did I miss the comment from Sam earlier? What's up, Sam? Yeah, so I mean, people just they stay locked in this mental debate, this mental fight with every thought that comes because they think it's useful. And it's the furthest thing from useful. It's the furthest thing from useful. It just keeps you in this cycle. You don't win the competition. You never win the competition with your mind. You just stress. You never win this fight with the thoughts. You just stress. Have you ever fought with a thought and then the mind says, "Okay, I give up, you win. I'll never mention it again." Right? Has that ever happened to anyone? Have you actually gotten into a fight with your own negative thoughts and then the mind just says, "Okay, here's you a thought. I'm sorry. It won't happen again. You got it. You win this one, boss." Has that ever happened? No. No. It's never happened and it will never happen, right? So you might as well just go straight to the heart of the fear and say, "You know what? If it happens, it happens." Right? Because anything else is futile. Anything else is so futile. And that is exactly why we talk about cutting out that fight. Anything else gets you nowhere. Anything else just gets you stressed. Anything else is just a waste of time. Anything else just continues to keep all this shit alive. Right? Oh shit. That scared me a bit. I wasn't at the PC. Who was that? What was that? Let's see. Rosh, I hope I said that right. $20 tip. Thank you so much. I don't think I said that right. I really don't. Um, I cut your name in half there. Thank you so much for the $20 tip. Show them some love in the chat, please. Thank you. Thank you. If anxiety disorders go away with acceptance, then why doesn't long-term medication work? Because it doesn't break the habit. It doesn't. If it does, if it basically does all the work for you temporarily, just thought it doesn't do all the work for you temporarily. It masks symptoms. That's what medication does. So you're slightly off on that one. Medication does not do the work for you. Medication is there to mask these symptoms. You still have the bad habits. So when that wears off, right? It's not going to work long term, and that's just the reality of the situation. Now, with that being said, I can't choose whether or not anybody should go the medication route. But with that being said, medication masks symptoms. Medication does not take care of the second fear habit. Medication does not take care of you fighting with your mind 24 hours a day. Medication does not take care of that. Right? And that's why you see a lot of people start to experience initial relief with the masking of the symptoms, but the bad habits still remain. Right? But the bad habits still remain. Okay, here's a perfect example. Hold up. Here's a perfect example. Show some love in the chat, by the way, guys, to our tipper. I didn't see any love for our tipper. Where's our love for our tipper with the $20 tip? Show him some love. Let's get those emotes going. Here's a perfect example. AP says, "I'm having a panic attack after eating a yogurt because anxiety said it's poisoned." I laugh a little bit because they laughed a little bit. Here's what you need to do. So anxiety says your yogurt's poisoned. You say, "Good. Hope it fucking drops me dead." There you go. Now we're cutting out the middleman. Now we're cutting out the middleman. You see what we're getting at? Now we're cutting out the middleman. We're not giving the mind a chance. We're not giving it a chance to fight with us. There's no chance. Cutting out the middleman. Hold on. Where do intrusive thoughts stem from? Intrusive thoughts come from misfired signals in the amygdala, right? So that's why when you're sensitized, they tend to, they tend to get more intense, more frequent. Let's see. No, absolutely, D Nunn. Absolutely. You're more than welcome. Yeah. Medication tends to mask the physical symptoms of anxiety. Medication does not treat the bad habit that puts you in the anxiety boat to begin with, which is second fear. And that's why, a lot of people do experience initial relief with medication. They do, right? And as a result of that, they stop adding as much second fear. But over time, right, if the second fear habit still remains, they're going to find something to add it to, right? So, it gets complicated. It gets complicated. Let's see. Yeah, so everybody's thoughts are the same. In the way that they work. They're not the same in the content, but they're the same in the way that they work as far as negative intrusive thoughts are concerned. Looks like I missed the point of the stream. What's up, Mint? You can always watch it back later. We talked about cutting out the middleman. Instead of trying to debate with your mind and fight with your mind and box with your mind, which is keeping you stressed, it's miserable. You never win that. You never win that. It just keeps you in the cycle. So we've got to cut out the middleman. When these thoughts come, we just say, okay, good. Hope it does happen, right? Arguing with negative intrusive thoughts will always be a losing battle, and if you don't think I'm right about that, continue doing it, and I'll see you here again in the next 30 years, right? Because you're never going to win that. That sounds blunt, but that's true. If you think, or if you don't fully believe that what I'm saying when I say go to the heart of the fear, just agree with these thoughts instead of fighting with them, if you don't believe that, continue fighting with them. Continue fighting with every negative intrusive thought you have, trying to prove it wrong, and I'll still see you here in the next 30 years. Guarantee. Let's see. Because it's not going to work for you. You're not going to win that. People spend their entire lives trying to fight with their minds. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Never will work. So if you think you can prove me wrong, go for it. But I'll see you here in the next 30 years when I'm like in a wheelchair and I'm like 80. You'll still be here. What's up, Ghost? I ride my bike a certain route every day, and each time it causes me anxiety because I'm away from my comfort zone. Despite riding this path for years, do I need to learn to accept more? It's not necessarily do I need to learn to accept more. I would say it's a matter of getting back to the basics, right? You got to be honest with yourself. I say this all the time. You got to be honest with yourself. Are you still fighting with these thoughts? Are you still trying to prove them wrong, or are you just simply agreeing with them? Right, which is what you need to be doing. Cut out the middleman. Are you telling horror stories about the symptoms, or are you just letting them happen? Right. So that's the two keys right there. Stop fighting with thoughts and feelings. Live your life. So I wouldn't say necessarily do you need to learn to accept more. I would say you know the advice. Now we just need to get honest, right? We just need to get honest and make any appropriate changes that we need to make. Let's see. Ghost, what's good, dude? What's good, dude? Let's see what's going on. We got a pretty full chat today. How's everybody doing? We'll get some music going in a second. We'll get some music going in a second. All right. All right, chat. What are we listening to today? What are we listening to today, chat? It's tough, but I'm still fighting. Stop fighting. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But less fighting. Less fighting. More just saying, you know what? It is what it is. If it happens, it happens. Um, let's pull up some music. All right. All right. I'll try a different playlist today just to mix it up a little bit. Oh, that scared the shit out of me. Why do I have that so loud? Why do I have that turned up so loud? Who was that? Who was that? Who do I get to blame for that one? Maddie! Maddie with the $10 tip. Thank you so much, Maddie. I appreciate you. Thank you. Nothing but love, man. Nothing but love. Thank you, Maddie. We're on a 47-day streak, chat. We are 3 days away from 50. That is actually insane. Hey, Wonder Bro, I was doing so well since last few weeks now. I think I suffered a setback and all my symptoms coming back, having a panic attack right now, trying to flow through it. So you got to go to the heart of the fear, man. You got to go to the heart of the fear. And that's not with an attitude of please go away. That's with an attitude of whatever's going to happen is going to happen, right? So the thing about quote-unquote setbacks is 9 times out of 10, it's because we slip back into bad habits. So that's where being honest with yourself comes in handy. You got to be honest with yourself. Have you been trying to disprove your thoughts lately? Have you been trying to fight with your thoughts lately? If any of that is true, then we've got to make some changes, right? If any of that is not true, and you just have the return of symptoms, that means you've got some more retraining to do. So either way you look at it, we've got to keep you on board. Either way you look at it, whether you want to look at it as retraining or a setback or whatever, we've got to get you back to the basics, right? We've got to go to the heart of the fear. So when these triggers are there, we got to prove these triggers wrong by no longer fighting with them. So when these thoughts come, we just say, yeah, okay, sure, whatever. Agree with it, right? Instead of trying to fight with it. Prove to the brain that the alarm isn't needed. When these symptoms come, same thing. No more horror stories. Just live your life. Say, okay, if it happens, it happens, right? Stop fighting against any of this. Stop feeding what you don't want to grow, right? So not a bad thing. Definitely not a bad thing. You just got to get back on track. You got to get back to the basics. You got some more practice to do, apparently, and that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes that's needed. Not a big deal. Vinyl tune sounds nice, though. Yeah, thank you, Maddie. Thank you for the tip and a little bit of the jump scare there. You guys want some lo-fi? We can do some lo-fi. I got no problem with that. We can do a little bit of lo-fi. Alright, let's get some lo-fi going. There we go. What do you guys think? Vibey, not vinyl. This is like rainy day lo-fi. No, I don't see any comments held by the bot. Meh. Oh no, it didn't get held by the bot. I just didn't read it out loud, I guess. Maddie says, "Oh God, elevator music." Hey, Maddie, that comment is not coming from the same person who won't listen to rock and roll, right? Surely that comment's not coming from the same person that I know that will not listen to rock and roll because it hurts her ears. It's not a good stream. It's not a good stream if I don't give Maddie a little bit of shit. Oh, I don't know, man. I still see it. That's weird. That's strange. YouTube is strange sometimes. It's your birthday, Kate? I did not know that. Happy birthday. How old are you today? Oh, if you're sending a link, yeah, links won't come through. Yeah, if you're sending any sort of links won't come through. Because that, I mean, I guess it's a YouTube thing, because that could get messy like really quickly if people could do that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So 30. Oh, does it hurt? I have to know. I have to know, Kate. Does it hurt? That's a serious question. I'm coming up on 30 and I have to know. Does it hurt? Can you reword your statement, perp? A little bit. It's pretty bittersweet. I would imagine. I'll get back to you in a few years, let you know how I feel about it. She's 50. You're the Discord secretary, Maddie. You've got all this information. I remember calling bitches old at 30. Now look at me, 40 and grateful. I'm a few years away from 30. Don't put me there quite yet. Happy dirty 30. Age is just a number, right? I think you're way overthinking it, man. I still think you're in this mental boxing match and you're going to continue to lose. You're not going to win this one. So, for example, you say I'm feeling tired and stressed out for no apparent reason. That should be the end of the story. There shouldn't be, oh, let me check my screen time. Let me see how high my screen time is today. You're way obsessive. You're way obsessive, and I've been there, and I'm telling you, you're not gonna win this one. You gotta let it go. You've gotta let it go, man. So what? You're feeling tired and stressed out. Okay, good. End of story. End of story. The longer you obsess about how you feel, the further down this rabbit hole you're gonna go, and you're not gonna win that boxing match. Your mind is gonna beat your ass every single time. Oh man, trust me. Oh god, I couldn't tell you how long I spent trying to mentally figure it all out and screen time this and blah 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 this and blah 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 that. I made zero progress until I said, okay, no more boxing contest. Whatever my mind says, okay, I'm just going to say okay to it. Same with the feelings. I'm not going to get into this obsessive boxing match. It's so miserable. It's so miserable, and I want nothing more than you to realize that, so we can start to really move on with this thing. I know the rabbit holes, they're deep. They're deep. Obsessive behavior over one's thoughts and one's feelings is nothing more than a mental boxing match 24 hours a day, which of course completely fries the nervous system. Worry activates the stress response. So this obsessive behavior, compulsive obsessive behavior with the thoughts and the feelings is nothing more than the perfect recipe for a fried nervous system. See, I mean, I'm on some sort of electronic with what I do 99% of the time, and I can't say I feel that way. So what I can say is that if I was very obsessive, right, with the mental boxing match, like I was um, long ago, I definitely can say I would be very anxious. Wonder Bro, my brain says you are feeling as things as wrong because you left this intrusive thought and need to check and fix it. It's crazy. That's the cycle. That's the cycle. You feel uncertain leaving it alone, but that's what we got to get you comfortable with doing, right? In order to break out of the cycle. What's up, Truth? And that's why I said it doesn't always feel comfortable using the advice at first, right? Because you're going against everything you've done for so long, but it's what will set you free in the end. Well, you don't need your phone for distraction because you say, I need my phone for distraction, otherwise I get bored in an anxious, restless way. You get bored in an anxious, restless way because you're so obsessive. There's a lot of still trying to figure out thoughts and box with thoughts and fight with thoughts. And we need you to encounter these thoughts. We need you to face them, right? We need you to face them and we need you to say, okay, if it happens, it happens, right? We need to show your brain that these thoughts are not dangerous. So I'm just trying to point out, like, either way you go, whether you have a lot of phone time, you don't have a lot of phone time, either way you go, there's still obsession there, and that's what really needs to be worked on. Oh shit, who was that? What was that? Let's see. Let's see. What do we got here? What do we got here? We got a $20 tip from Mom of 8 says, let's go on your way to 50. Thank you, Mom of 8, so much. I truly appreciate you. Can we get a huge shout out to all of our tippers today? Guess what? We hit tip goal. Guess what? We're moving on to a 48 day streak. Absolutely insane. Thank you so much, chat. Let's give a huge round of applause to all of our tippers today. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for every single one of you. So, you see what we're getting at, whether you have a lot of phone time or not. If you're still very obsessive, which means if you're still in a mental boxing match with every negative thought that you have, we can't get your brain to the point where it's going to calm down because there's way too much obsession going on. So that's why I leave the part of live your life, the two main keys. That's why I leave that kind of open-ended. You're allowed to do what you want to do. Live your life. I don't say live my life, I say live your life. So as you're living your life, though, we have to stop fighting with these thoughts and feelings, right? And I know we've talked in the past about compulsions, and all that's true. We want you to live your life. We want you to not do what the anxiety wants you to do. We want you to do what you want to do. But while we do this, we can't forget that a big part of the advice, two keys for a reason, we have to stop fighting with the thoughts and feelings mentally with this boxing match. So as you live your life, as you do what you want to do, not what the anxiety wants you to do, which is great, we also have to get you to cut out the obsession. We also just have to get you to say okay to these thoughts, agree with these thoughts, whatever, instead of getting into the boxing match with them, right? So we've got two keys for a reason. We've got two keys for a reason. We've got two keys for a reason. That's why we see A lot of the time people will say, well, Wonder Bro, I raise my family, I go to work, I do all these things, I'm still anxious. And I say, well, we've got two keys for a reason. Are you still fighting with your thoughts and feelings? And if they're honest with themselves, they'll go, yeah, I'm pretty much boxing with my mind all day, right? I'm pretty much boxing with every thought all day, right? And that's when we say, okay, well, we got two keys for a reason, right? There are two keys for a reason, so. And I know it's not comfortable going into these thoughts and just basically agreeing with them. I know that's not comfortable. I understand that, but it's going to lead you to healing. Either way you go, it's not comfortable. We talked about that, what, chat, like last week, how either way you go, whether you continue this mental boxing match, it's not going to be comfortable, or if you go with true acceptance, it's not going to be comfortable. Either way, it's not going to be comfortable, but one way is going to lead to comfort. Acceptance is going to lead to comfort in time once we get that brain worked on a bit, right? So either way you go, you're heading down some discomfort. Let's just do the work on what's going to work, right? In the end. I know it's a strong habit, man. I know it's a strong habit. I know it's tempting. I know it's not fun breaking this habit. Like, I get that. But either way you're heading towards discomfort. You might as well go the route that's going to lead to comfort, right? To true change, true change. True change. Ba-da-da. Well, see, that's the thing. You're avoiding anxiety, Mint. So you say, but when I try to eat without distraction and accept the thoughts, it gets hard to eat. It gets hard to eat because of the anxiety. Well, of course you're going to have to face some anxiety. When you start accepting these thoughts and just agreeing with them and saying, okay, sure thing, of course that's going to be uncomfortable. That's a part of it. There is no part of this practice that is you're going to be able to get around that. No part of this practice can you get around having to face these things, right? So when you start to face these thoughts and feelings with an attitude of, okay, I don't mind, I hope it happens, right? I just agree with it. When you get to that, and you start to dedicate to that, it's going to lead to healing, yes. It's going to lead to you retraining your brain, yes. All these magnificent, great things, but if you are going to have to face discomfort, right? Feeling lightheaded can be common. Make sure you are eating, right? You don't have to stuff yourself, but make sure you are trying to eat just a little bit at least. But if you are eating at least a little bit, feeling lightheaded, dizzy, all very common anxiety symptoms. Of course, I can't diagnose anybody, but those are common anxiety symptoms, yes. No, absolutely, Mint. I agree. Which, I mean, you're already very self-aware. You already know what's going on, and now it's really just a matter of putting in that work. So, but knowledge, is where you've got to start. So that's understandable. But once we get that knowledge, we know what we got to do. Now it's time to do it. There comes the fun part. That's the fun part. Where you at, Sanchez? Yeah, where you at, Sanchez? Okay, good. Bring it on. Whatever. Let it be. Have at it. Just agree with the thoughts instead of arguing with them. Agree in like a nonchalant way. Whatever. When you tell people that, that's very simple to understand. But actually doing that, it requires some I'm glad you were here for this stream, so you know what needs to be done. You've got the knowledge, and like I just said, it's a matter of using it now. Yo, out for my walk. What's up, everybody? What's up, Tony? Glad you're doing so good, dude. By the way, awesome tippers hitting tip goal again today. Yeah, the tippers are awesome, man. I really appreciate it. 48-day streak, absolutely insane. Thank you guys for helping me keep this show on the road. It means a lot to me. Thank you. And I'm sure it means a lot to everybody else as well. A little bit, chat. Let's see. I promise I will get right back to the comments in just a second. Figured I'd go ahead and knock out the thumbnail for today. Alright, there we go. Hey Wonder Bro, how to address the fear of what if it's different this time? What if it kills me this time? You say I hope it fucking does. You say I hope it puts me in the fucking grave. That's what you say. You go towards the fear. Acceptance. You accept the thoughts, you accept the feelings. You don't get into a mental boxing match with them. Otherwise, you're just running in circles because you're never going to win that competition, right? Wonder Bro, your total views broke 1 million. I just saw that. That's cool. Hey, thanks, dude. I appreciate that. Yeah, that is pretty crazy. I did reply to your comment, Stuart. I said we need to get you to the point where we stick to the basics, right? A lot of things can happen in life, throws us back into bad habits, but we need to get you back on track, back to the basics. Of course, you know, Omar. It was Omar, right? Yeah, of course, Omar. That's kind of like a more aggressive approach, but you can go more neutral if you want. I prefer the aggressive approach, but you can go more neutral with these thoughts if you'd like. Just welcome them, embrace them, accept them. It is what it is. I prefer just kind of stomping it out altogether and just going straight to it, straight to the heart of the fear, and just saying, you know what? Hope it does happen. Yeah, I don't know why the stream acts up. I really don't. I wish I did. I don't know. I have music in my head from a month now. Like when I want to study, music keep on banging in my head and gives me anxiety. What should I do? Remember, the more you don't want something, the more you're gonna get it. Right? So this is a good rule of thumb. The more you don't want something, the more you're gonna get it. The more you try to argue with something, the more you're gonna get it. The more you try to fight with something, the more you're gonna get it. The more you you know, go about that, the more you're going to get it. So it's a good rule of thumb. Let's see here. Yeah, so it is not on, actually today, as a matter of fact, it is not on your end, guys. I just got a notification saying the stream dropped about 4 minutes ago. Weird. Alright, I don't know why that happened. It's apparently not on your end today. It's on my end, so I apologize for that. Strange. Strange indeed. Not sure why that happened. Tony getting into that exercise, dude. Hey, speaking of exercise, I got some exercise in yesterday. I told you guys I was going to do it. I did it. I did some back workouts yesterday. Wasn't that bad. wasn't that bad. Is deja vu an anxiety symptom and having that like crazy lately? I did experience a good amount of deja vu during my journey. Can't really explain it, but I did experience that, and I feel like most people do. Brain stuff, man. Brain stuff. Hey, what's up, old mate? Hey, I'm glad you enjoy it, dude. Should you just practice acceptance? You know, everyone's got to make that choice for themselves, but in my opinion, absolutely. None of my hobbies provide instant distraction like that because they don't grab my attention like the phone does. Well, you don't need instant distraction. You need to embrace these thoughts and feelings. Of course, live your life, right? But when these thoughts and feelings are there, don't run from them. Just agree with them. Just say, yeah, it is what it is. Give me your best shot. Bring it on. I hope it does happen. You know, whatever. Go to that fear. Don't go away from it. I get what you're saying, though. Let's see. I'm gonna make a crazy thumbnail today. We're gonna do like a crazy looking thumbnail today. Something spooky. Celebrate Halloween. All right. I don't know what that is, but we're going with it. We're going with it. I've been working with loosening and accepting and not adding second fear. Awesome, dude. Keep it up. You'll find plenty of information on that here. I used to have music play nonstop in my head too. Just let it play. If you allow it to play and carry on, eventually does go away. Exactly. So that brings us back to our rule of thumb here. What you resist persists. What you fight grows. What you feed grows. All of this comes back to you just need to look right into the eyes of these thoughts and feelings and say, okay, I accept you being here. Bring it on. Give me your best shot. I hope it does happen. You know, if there's a big what if in your head, just say, good, hope it does happen. Be a smart ass with it. You've got to go and you've got to face these things because the more you don't want something, the more you get it. Plain and simple. The more you add the second fear, the more you're going to stay in the cycle. Plain and simple. Yeah, I'm trying to. I gained some of my weight back, but I'm trying to maintain it. Hey, keep it up, Tony. You're doing good, dude. So will it get better, you think, if I keep forcing myself to do my hobbies without phone distraction at the same time? I think it will. I think it will. I think if you want to work on that, if you want to spend less time on your phone, that might make you a bit anxious at first because you're breaking out of a habit that you don't necessarily want to have. So that might make you feel a bit uncertain at first. But if you stick with it, you'll get used to it. So, you know, we encounter and we face these thoughts and feelings with an attitude of good, I'm here for it. If it happens, it happens. You know, we don't fight with any of this, and these things start to lose power. They start to lose power. All right, let's see. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, the back exercises that I did yesterday with the lady friend, they weren't that hard, honestly. I thought it would be a lot harder than it was, but granted, it's like a worksheet, and it's different. It's different each day, so it was a pretty easy one, and I have a feeling they're going to get a bit tougher. But I'm going to try to stick with it. I'm going to try to do it daily. Yesterday was back. I don't know what today is, but I'm sure she'll send it to me soon. Definitely got to try to stick with it. Hey, nothing stopping you, Mitt. Nothing stopping you. more you don't want something, the more you get it, guys. Repeat that 3 times. Repeat that 3 times in your head, chat, right now. The more I don't want something, the more I get it. The more I don't want something, the more I get it. The more I don't want something, the more I get it. Now, with that mentality, when these thoughts and feelings come, we need to get you into the right mindset. If we know the more you don't want something, the more you get it, then when you get these thoughts and feelings, you say, yes, okay, bring it on. Yes, okay, I hope that does happen. Yes, okay, I don't care, right? So we go towards these things, not away from these things. We get out of the boxing match. We prove to the brain these things are not dangerous by going towards them rather than away from them. That is the goal. Gotta stop arguing. Gotta stop arguing with the thoughts. It's okay to have a little bit of phone time. More than anything, I just want you to stop obsessing. Right? More than anything. I feel like that's your biggest habit, which is most people's biggest habit. But keep living your life. You're not perfect. Things happen. Compulsions happen. Do your best. If you want to make some changes, make some changes. I'm all for it. Remember, there's 2 keys for a reason. We really need to work on that obsession. We need to start going towards these thoughts and feelings instead of trying to run away from them, right? What did Wonder Woman say to your pickup line yesterday? She said something along the lines of lame. which was the response I was expecting, because it was pretty lame. Me and Wonder Woman give each other shit pretty much 24 hours a day. It's kind of our thing. It's what we do. But I like that, because if you can't be like best friends with your partner, then what are you doing? You're wasting your fucking time. Like, if you and your partner can't joke around and give each other shit all the time, you're wasting your time. In my opinion, my humble opinion, you are wasting your time. You might as well call it quits. You got to be able to be like best friends. Yeah, man. So, like I said, if you want to work on some habits that you feel like are hindering you, by all means, I'm here for it. I support you. But keep it simple, too. At the same time, continue to live your life. When these thoughts and feelings come, do not get into a mental boxing competition with them, right? Drop that. Drop that. That's what we need to work on more than anything. So let's keep it simple. If you want to work on some habits that you feel hinder you, that's fine. But let's not forget the basics here. As you live your life, no more mental boxing with these thoughts and feelings. Just go towards them, agree with them instead of away from them. Cut out the middleman, as the title of the stream says today. Nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing wrong with building healthy habits. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. 100% support that. But we don't want to forget the fundamentals. We really don't want to forget the fundamentals. We want to work on that more than anything. And then if you want to make some adjustments to your life, you want to make some changes to your life, by all means, go for it. But do not forget the fundamentals here. And don't become obsessive about it. I mean, that's one of the two main keys. Stop fighting with the thoughts and feelings. If you become obsessive, worried, aka worried about recovery and every little thing, then you're already not even using the two main keys. So why are we trying to worry about doing all this other little shit? You're not even using the two main keys. You get where I'm going with this? Couldn't agree more. Absolutely. That's love. Absolutely. I mean, that's pretty much all we do. If we're talking, hanging out, whatever, we just laugh. It's the best. It's the best. If you can't joke and laugh and talk shit to your partner, wasting your time. In my opinion, I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I think you're wasting your time. I have a question. I work with doctors in operating theaters, and sometimes the environment becomes overwhelming, and I feel dizzy and sudden anxiety. Like I said, I have the loosening and accepting. So you're working on the practice, and I think you're fairly new here, right? I believe you're fairly new here. So give yourself time. First and foremost, give yourself time, right? Let's not jump into, oh God, this still happens, this still happens. Let's give ourselves time. Let's give the practice time, right? Let's not jump into the obsession about what still happens, this still happens, that still happens. Remember, we want to drop that obsession. So let's give it some time. As far as feeling, overwhelmed or a bit dizzy or sudden anxiety, these are all very common anxiety symptoms, right? And we want you to keep in mind that worrying about it's not going to get you anywhere. So I know that's easier said than done, but it's a balancing act, Maddie. There you go. It's a balancing act. Of course, you have to be nice too. It is a balancing act. Your partner also needs to be your best friend. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree with that. If you're like all uptight and serious all the time, it's not fun, not a good time. Your partner absolutely needs to be your best friend on top of things. I agree. You got to know when to make the jokes too, right, Maddie? Well, it's not, you know, you make the jokes at the wrong time. You're not going to be in for a good time. It's a balancing act. All right, guys, I will be right back. Chat. That took a lot longer than I expected. Let's see, how many people are actually still here? Roll call. We need a roll call. How many people are still with me? I'm not gonna lie. I got a little hungry. We've streamed for like, what, 2 hours today? I got a little hungry. I ran into some complications, okay? But we're good. We're back. We're back. Who's still here? You think? Sanchez is here. What's up, dude? When did you sneak in here, Sanchez? Hey, at least the BRB music is like really catchy, right? So not a big deal. At least it's really, really catchy. Bop, bop, bop. What did you burn? That's a good question. That's accurate. That is accurate. What's up, old mate? Glad you're still here. What's up, dude? Yeah, sorry about that, guys. On your half-hour break. Hey, Maddie. If I stream for 2 hours, I got to take a half-hour break. I got to do some stretches. I got, you know, got to go on a lunch break. Tip goal? Yeah, we did hit tip goal today. 69. I don't know about that, Sanchez. I don't know about all that. All right, but we did hit tip goal. We're on a 48-day streak. Absolutely insane. You got to go, Mint? Hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you. No, it's not. In all caps. What are you yelling about, Kate? Kate, what are you yelling about? Who hurt you? Hey, here soon, I want to rearrange my my streaming setup, like my entire setup. So maybe you guys will get to see a different perspective here soon. I don't know. Hey, take it easy, man. Hope you have a good day. Remember everything we talked about. Hey, what's up, Vet YT? This dude in Clear Week single-handedly helped me recover. Once you realize you have no control and trying to control it just makes it worse, you realize why doing nothing is actually key. There you go. I love it. Love the comment. There you go. I love to see it. Love to see it. Congrats on your recovery, dude. Keep it up. Proud of you. Hanging us out to dry. Maddie and Kate will never let me live that one down. Never let me live that one down. Bum, bum, bum. Is there any way to make the comments pop up on screen on the Hangout chat? Yeah, we could do that. We might have to squeeze it in there a little bit, but we can make that happen if that's something you guys want. Okay, everyone, I'm going for the fast fade. Have a great day. We've got this. Bye. See you later, old mate. Thanks for stopping by, dude. Appreciate you. Is that something you want, chat? Let's have a little vote. Who wants the live chat to be on screen during Hangout chat? Who wants that? No, I agree with you, Kate. It was 2 months ago and it clicked. All the reading, rereading, analyzing, and obsessing just made it worse. I might still get anxiety and I don't like it, but I realized doing nothing was the only thing I didn't try yet. Exactly. Doing nothing, aka what does doing nothing mean? Acceptance. When those thoughts and feelings come, just say, okay, bring it on. Okay, it is what it is. Okay, if it happens, it happens, right? This is what acceptance is. Live your life and don't fight the thoughts and the feelings. Let's switch back over. It's gonna be really dark. I don't know why we've been here for so long today. I'm just feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm just vibing today. How does Nova like Wonder Woman? Nova likes everybody. Nova's like the most loving dog in the world. I don't think she's ever met anyone that she didn't like, to be honest. She's just a big old teddy bear. Sanchez, dude, keeping the Halloween spirit alive. It's close. It's close. It's right around the corner. Oh, come on. Come on, Kate. Like 15 minutes, okay? Like 15, 20 minutes max. 20 minutes max, all right? Look, look. I know you miss me. I know you miss me, but it's okay. I'm here now. I'm here now. It's okay. 12 days left, right around the corner. Right around the corner. You're gonna have to post some more videos so I can go check them out. Little encouragement. What's up, Travis? I've been anxiety free for about 5 to 6 weeks now. Small intrusive thoughts here and there because human, but disappears in seconds. Healing rocks, did not think possible, but is. There you go. There you go, guys. A little bit of encouragement for you today from Travis. What did Travis do? What did Travis do to accomplish this, you might ask? Travis embraced his thoughts and feelings. He stopped fighting with them. He said, you know what? It is what it is. If it happens, it happens. That's what Travis did. Travis lived his life and embraced his thoughts and feelings. He stopped the argument. He stopped the argument. What's up, Mohammed? I hope I said that right. Do a stream on. Could you please do a stream about compulsive behavior? There's actually quite a few. There's actually already quite a few. Do a little bit of digging. Type in vacate fear. Maybe you could type in vacate fear compulsions, or maybe you could type in vacate fear OCD, something along those lines, and you will probably find an entire treasure trove of videos dedicated to that topic, I'm sure. Just something for you to try in the meantime. Be like Travis. Yes, be like Travis. Be like Travis. Live your life and stop arguing with the thoughts and feelings. Just say yes to them. Just cut out the middleman, like the title of this stream says. Cut out the middleman. But yeah, that's awesome, Travis. Congrats, dude. Be like Travis. Yeah, no problem, dude. I just didn't want you waiting on a stream when there's probably already like a handful already out there. So just do a little bit of digging, a little bit of searching. You'll probably find all sorts of videos on that. If you could say one thing to Claire, what would it be? To Claire Weeks? One thing, if I could say one thing to Claire Weeks, what would it be? It would be thank you. Thank you. Simply put, that's all it would be. That's all I would need to say. Just thank you. Thank you for opening the eyes of so many people when nobody else seemed to be able to. Woke up last night, worst anxiety I've had in months, didn't add worry. I felt a sense of calm within 5 minutes. You see what happens when you stop the mental argument, and that includes both thoughts and feelings. Some people get confused and they're like, okay, just don't argue with my thoughts. Just basically agree with them. Whatever. All right, got it. But then they get the symptoms and they're like up in their head, arguing, oh God this, oh God that, worries, second fear, whatever you want to call it. But this applies to both. That's important. That's really important to keep in mind. This applies to both. You apply this to the thoughts, just kind of agree with them, accept them, whatever. And this also applies to the symptoms, just to accept them, agree with them, you know. It definitely applies to both. So you proved that to yourself, apparently. You proved that to yourself last night. That's why the two keys say stop fighting with thoughts and feelings and live your life. See, we got this. We got this. We've thought this through. We know what's going on here. They will lose their power. They will lose their power if you can stay out of the mental argument. You said it took what? Like you felt calm within 5 minutes? All right. It's different for everybody, but these thoughts and feelings will lose their power, right? Eventually, if you stay out of the mental argument. Was the fear of embarrassment with regards to panic attacks also an issue for anyone here? It wasn't a huge issue for me because my mindset was always way too worried about myself to care about what anyone else thought about. Like I was way too worried about my own thoughts and feelings to give a shit about what anyone else thought about. So like I don't know. That's how it was for me. I didn't really care about embarrassment. I was too busy like having an inner crisis to care about embarrassment. But I understand how like for some people that might be a trigger. I understand like how for some people that might be a you know, an intrusive thought that they deal with. But same thing applies. Embrace it. Say, you know what? I hope I do get embarrassed. Now you're cutting out the middleman. Now you're not giving your mind a chance to argue with you. Now you are accepting and embracing the trigger and teaching your brain to cut the shit, right? Putting it bluntly, you are teaching your brain that the alarm is not needed. But, for example, if you get the thought like, oh, I might get embarrassed, or it might be embarrassing if I have panic around a group of people, and you start fighting with that, you're like up in your head, oh, it won't happen because of this, it won't happen, I'll make sure it doesn't happen, I've got plans A, B, and C for that, blah, blah, blah. You're just fueling that shit. You're just telling your brain that that is a problem. You're telling your brain that anytime this thought comes, give me the alarm. You're telling your brain, bring this thought more often. You're just fueling it, right? So instead, if you're just like, I don't give a shit, I hope I do get embarrassed, right? Now you're cutting out the middleman. Now you're embracing and accepting the fear and retraining your brain. But Kate is also correct. Most people don't even realize it anyway, so yeah, it seems like you're right on track, dude. It seems like you know that now, but I wanted to make that clear. I like to use examples, so any chance I get to pick out a comment and make an example out of it, I usually take it. I feel like using examples, it's very helpful to teach with. But yeah, I mean, it seems like you're on the right track. I wouldn't sweat it. I would just keep doing what you're doing. Your comment was on point. You got to cut out the middleman. First, I only feared going crazy or dying, very, very common. Once I got a bit better and had more knowledge, that's when the fear of embarrassment kicked in, and I worried I had social anxiety, which was a very big trigger. So you see how it was just like rabbit hole after rabbit hole after rabbit hole. So, for example, I know that you know this now, but at the time, if you had the thought, okay, I might get embarrassed, you know now that you just go towards that shit. You're just like, good. I hope I do get embarrassed, whatever, right? You don't try to reason with the OCD, anxiety, whatever you want to call it. You don't try to reason with it because you're just fueling the fire. You know that now. You didn't know that at the time. And that's why when you first got the thought about being embarrassed or whatever, you probably went down the rabbit hole arguing with that. Oh, that won't happen because of reasons A, B, and C, blah, blah, blah. You probably tried fighting with that, right? That's safe to assume. And then what happens? You got engulfed in this rabbit hole of anxiety and stress, all because you fed that fire. But now you know when these intrusive thoughts come, if you want to teach your brain not a problem, just go towards them and say, hey, if it happens, it happens. You know that now. Exactly, the rabbit holes just come one after the other. They do. It's pointless. So not only is it pointless to have the mental argument because you won't get anywhere, it'll just keep coming and coming and coming. But you're also training your brain to bring this more often, and you're training your brain that this is worthy of anxiety. You're training your brain all these different ways. So you got to embrace and accept the anxiety, embrace and accept the thought, and just go towards it and say it is what it is. I hope I do get embarrassed, whatever, and then sit with that discomfort, and eventually your brain's going to learn. And then the thoughts that used to bother you aren't going to bother you anymore. You're going to look back on them and you're going to laugh. You're going to be like, what the fuck, why did I give a shit about that? Exactly. So you're very self-aware of the rabbit hole. Travis said, felt like I was dying until I didn't. Middleman, keep shit stirred up. Middleman, full of shit and negative. You will feel like shit for days, but if you can chill and live while feeling shitty, it leaves. Exactly. So basically, like I just said, being with the discomfort, cutting out the middleman in the process, and your brain's going to learn. So people say, well, Wonder Bro, I get these thoughts and feelings, and I embrace them, and I say, whatever, bring it on. I hope it does happen, blah, blah, blah. But I don't feel instantly better. Well, you're not going to feel instantly better. It takes time for your brain to learn. So once you cut out the middleman, aka worry, there is a bit of a time lag. But eventually the brain catches up and goes, hey, they've cut out the middleman. This must not be a problem. And that's when people find themselves laughing at the things they used to be triggered by because they've taught their brain this is not worthy of anxiety. So you got to stick with it. Like, you start using this advice, you start using the shit that you've heard in this stream, you've got to stick with it because it does take the brain a little bit of time to catch up. So many people fall back down because they don't allow that time. They don't allow that time. Yeah, I'm honestly over it now. I never replied to any videos while I was struggling because I didn't want to do any compulsions. Just came in now to let him know before leaving for good. Such a bittersweet moment, man. Such a bittersweet moment. I will miss you. Enjoy the rest of your life. Don't forget what you've learned here. Never forget what you've learned here. Continue to apply it. Continue to use it if need be. Never forget it, right? And we will never forget you. Have a good life. Have a good life. You deserve it. You deserve it. Kick ass. Kick ass. Such a bittersweet moment, chat. Such a bittersweet moment. That's what we're here for. Hey, I want to recommend something. What's up, old mate? I thought you were gone. You did leave, but you're back. Welcome back. I was like, was it old mate who said goodbye? Well, welcome back. Welcome back. You are still live. Yeah, I was just talking about that a minute ago. I don't know. We've streamed for like 2.5 hours already today. I'm not sure why. I'm vibing. I'm vibing. We're just going with it. If it's okay by you, no, absolutely. Got a bunch of shit done, Tony. Alright, also, somebody wanted the live, it was Kate, right? Kate says we should put the live chat on the Hangout screen. Let's do that. Chat box. Alright, start spamming the chat a little bit so I can see if this is gonna work. Alright, I think it's gonna work. Alright. Spam the chat, Maddie, which means just type a bunch of bullshit. Type a bunch of bullshit. Spam the chat. Oh, there we go. Okay, it does work. We're good. We're good. We're good. There you guys go. Oh, Maddie, you prankster. You silly goose. I don't know, Maddie. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. Are you feeling guilty for leaving us the past 2 weekends? Well, I got some news for you. Guys. Might be doing that again this weekend. Anyway, I've had one of those weird days today, but you know what's crazy? It no longer matters to me. There you go. That's the attitude. That's the attitude. Need black letters. Look, Maddie, you're just going to have to put your reading glasses on because I don't get black letters as an option, okay? Alright. Get those reading glasses out. I'm kidding. I can make it black, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Alright, try it now. Let's try it now. There we go. Is that better? Is that better? Bop, 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 bop. Bop, bop. Maddie, have you been keeping record of our Discord? You are the Discord secretary after all. How's the logs going? It's time to check in with me. How's the logs going? Any Halloween party for you this year, Wonder Bro? The lady friend wants to do something for Halloween, but we haven't quite figured it out yet, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. People don't cooperate. I put your name as Discord secretary. They should be cooperating. What do the books on the shelf say? Cujo, Pet Cemetery, The Shining. Interesting. Yeah, that's probably what it is. That's probably what it is, Kate. You have to keep in mind, it's like, it's an anxiety chat. So, chances are that's what it is. Chances are that's what it is. Alright, guys. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down here. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been fun. It's been fun. I enjoy hanging out with you guys. I missed you guys. And yeah, make sure you leave this stream a like if you enjoyed it. I'm going to get our song pulled up and ready to go. We've got to have our song, of course. Of course, we've got to have our song. Where's it at? Get that pulled up. Alright, guys. I love you, and I'm sure I'll see you all very, very soon. Until next time, as always, stay awesome.
I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Did it die, yeah. Did it die. did it die. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Whatever you want, I'll be whatever you want. Just tell me you love me or not, whatever it costs. I know I'm talking a lot, there's something I gotta get off. Don't wanna be this no more, I don't wanna drink no more. Always gotta do the most, thinking that I'm insecure. Really should've listened more, but I don't, of course. I'm an asshole, I'm a good guy, I'm your best friend, I'm the worst type. Tell you everything that you heard right, just so I can fuck on the first night. Feel like I'm losing hope, running from coast to coast. I don't know where to go, this all I've ever known. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. No. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Won't die. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? My aunt think I'm perfect, I know I'm not. My mama be worried, I told her stop. They know I did drugs and think that I'm off. Little do they know I never could stop. My manager hate when I'm pulling up late. Back on my bullshit, she think it's a phase. I got relations I gotta maintain. I'm two different people, my
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday.